friends, welcome to today's video class. Today's topic is geographical terms and features. Okay, so by geographical terms, I mean geographical names, geographical languages. So we're going to be seeing some names we use in geography, and I'll be showing you pictures of those names, alright? So I'll be telling you what a harbor is, what an oasis is, what a bay is, what a peninsula is. What's a peninsula? You're going to find out in this lesson, okay? What a desert is, what a prairie is, what a coast is, and what a valley is. So let's just go right into the lesson so that I'll show you all these places and tell you what they mean, alright? Harbor. Harbor is a place where ships are parked. So when you visit the ocean or the seaside, the section of the sea where ships are parked, that section is called a harbor. Okay? Just as you can see on the clip. Bay. Bay is a body of water that is surrounded by a land that curves inward. So this body of water or this ocean or this sea, if you notice, there's a section of it that is curved inside this section. It's curved, the land is curved like a sea. It's curved inward as though the water is pushing the land inward. Is a bay. A bay is a body of water that is surrounded by land. Like you can see, the water is surrounded by land and it's curved inward. Okay? The next is peninsula. Peninsula is a body of land that is surrounded by water on three sides. So let's look at this picture. This land is surrounded by water. From the left hand side, you can see the water section. Right in front of you, there is another water section. The arrow is showing you that. And behind, there is another water section. So we have 3 points. Yes, this land is surrounded by water on 3 sides. Okay, if you want to come to this land, if you want to come in, you have to go in through this section, the right hand side, and when you want to leave, you go out through that same path. Okay, because the land is surrounded by water on 3 sides, so you only have 1 point of entry, and that same point is your point of exit. Alright, you can only enter through that side like the arrow is indicating and go out through the same path where you came in. Okay, so this land is a peninsula. So if you notice from the pictures and from the clips, these lands are surrounded by water on 3 sides. That's why they are called peninsulas. These are examples of peninsulas because they are surrounded by water on 3 sides. Alright. Coast. Coast is the edge of the land where it meets an ocean, a sea, a gulf, a vale, or a large lake. So the section of land, the end of the land, the edge of the land. If you look at this clip, this section, this land section, good. The edge of the land where it meets an ocean, a sea, a gulf, or a lake is a coast. Oasis. Oasis is a body of fresh water surrounded by land in a desert. So when you see water like this and the water is surrounded by land, you can't really tell where the water is coming from or where it's going to, because everywhere is surrounded by land. There's just this water somewhere in the middle. That's an oasis. Okay, and oases are found in deserts. Miss Ngozi, water in a desert here. So we have water in deserts. We don't just have water, we have oasis in deserts. Okay, so oasis is a body of fresh water. Fresh water because You can drink the water, you can swim in it, you can wash your clothes with it, you can do anything you want to do with the water. That's why it's called fresh water. So a body of fresh water surrounded by land in a desert. Oasis. Valley. Valley is a lowland between hills or mountains, usually with a river flowing through it. Okay, so when you see a lowland that is in between high hills and mountains, that's a valley. A lot of times you have water, you have rivers flowing through this valley, like you can see in the clip. Okay. Prairie. Prairie is a flat or hilly land covered with tall grasses. Okay. So when you see a flat land, sometimes with hilly sections, or a hilly land covered with tall grasses, that's a prairie. Lots of animals live on the prairie. They feed on the prairie. So this is a prairie. And the last we'll be talking about today is desert. Desert is a dry or barren land. When you say something is barren, it means the thing cannot produce, it can't give birth, it can't grow anything. So why a desert is called barren lots of times is because you can't really plant in a desert and expect the seed to grow. It's a dry land, okay? So a desert is a dry or barren land with little water or vegetation. So, Mr. Ngozi, can we find water in the desert? Yes, I just showed you an oasis. But that water is little compared to other areas that are not desert areas, right? Can we find vegetation? Can we find some plants in a desert? Yes, we can, but they are still very little. Alright, so desert is a dry or barren land with little water or little vegetation. Activity time. I want you to try out these activities, okay? So look at this clip. This is a what? Look at the area. This is a what? I want you to pen down the answer in your notepad. And this is an dash. So fill in the answer, pen down the answer in your notepad. And lastly, I want you to draw pictures to show a Hubble and a Prairie. I trust you had a nice time. Please do your activities on your notepad and see you in my next class. Bye-bye.